In this video, I'm going to talk about this ProArt PA401, which is a relatively new mid-tower case from ASUS. Now, its bigger brother, the ProArt PA602, is a very impressive case, but it is huge and kind of expensive, while this PA401 is a smaller and more affordable version of that same clean concept that will make a lot more sense to a lot more people. So let's check it out. Let's see how it performs with the mostly ProArt build that I put together here. And most importantly, let's see if it's worth getting it or not. Let's begin. The PA401 is definitely a mid-tower case, but it is shorter than most alternatives on the market, which might help you if you have a desk that is not that deep, but you still want to use an ATX motherboard. Now, there are a few versions available, so you can either get a wood front panel or a plastic one, and for the side panel, you can either go for a closed metal one, a mesh panel, or a tempered glass one. I have the wooden front panel with a tempered glass side version, but I really appreciate that they made several options available because I know that a lot of people like closed cases, and then especially so if they're building a nice office workstation. Design-wise, I always prefer cases that keep their design simple and clean, and then only add a few details here and there to make it stand out just a little bit. And I think that ASUS did a great job at achieving just that with a little ProArt logo in the front, as well as the hidden ProArt logo on the front dust filter that is only visible if you look at the case straight on. The front I/O includes one 20 gigabit USB Type-C port and two USB Type-A ports that will match most typical motherboards. It doesn't require a really expensive one with an extra Type-C connector. It also comes with a fan controller switch that lets you swap between PWM control and full speed. But I especially like the locking mechanism that locks both the power and the reset buttons, so you can really accidentally press it while using your USB ports, or if you have cats, for example. Another detail that I think is really well done is the mechanism for the side panels, where you just need to press the button for them to come off easily. And they use the same locking mechanism for the glass panel side that just locks the button so you cannot really accidentally press it if you grab or move your case. And if you want to keep your external cables nice and neat, they also included cable management clips on the back of the case. The front dust filter is easy to reach. The top panel acts as a dust filter for the top, and there is a dust filter for the PSU as well, but you can only access it from the back of the case. And yes, it is always preferred to have access to the bottom filter from the front or from the side of the case, but it is a very small filter, so you won't have to move your system that much to be able to reach it and clean it. On the inside, it is a pretty straightforward situation. It can fit an ATX motherboard, an ATX power supply, and it comes with 3 fans by default. Two big 160mm fans in the front of the case and another 120mm fan in the back, with all of them already cable managed and connected to the included fan controller hub. Since the case is a bit shorter, you do need to plan your build a little bit. Most air coolers will fit just fine, but if you want to go for liquid cooling, you will want to go for a 240mm radiator that is mounted at the top of the case. The case is also pretty tall, so fitting a radiator there will not be a problem at all. Also, GPUs up to 315mm will fit, so this case is not made for very large cards like the ROG Astral, for example, but still there are plenty of models to choose from, and as you can see, the ProArt that I use for this build fits just right. Now, ASUS did not include any grommets for some reason, which I think do belong in a case of this caliber, and if we're looking at what could be improved, I do have to say that I prefer when the area next to the motherboard is closed off properly instead of being open like this. It makes it easier to manage the cables and keep the inside looking cleaner, plus it will keep the cables away from the front fans, which is not the case here. And the second but minor thing that I would like to see is a GPU holder. Now, with the GPUs being larger and heavier with every single generation, I do think that every modern case should come with some sort of a GPU holder. If we look at the back, there is a lot of things that I really like on this ProArt case. As I mentioned earlier, it comes with a nice fan controller. There is plenty of space for cable management, and the cable management paths are really roomy and really wide, and they also come with big, sturdy straps to keep all the cables together. It definitely makes the whole cable management experience much faster and much easier. Since this is a very elegant, no RGB case, I wanted to make a build that kind of fits that aesthetic. Something that can be powerful enough for gaming, but also fit in a nice clean office and used for work as well. So I went for the Ryzen 9 9950 X3D processor combined with the ASUS ProArt X870E motherboard and a lovely black Noctua NH-U12A CPU cooler. And as I mentioned before, I used the ProArt RTX 5080 for the GPU. Just like with the 40 series cards, ASUS launched this model a bit after the rest of their lineup, so I didn't really have a chance to include it in the roundup that I did back then, but I think this is a perfect model for builds like this one. It has a very clean design with a few gold details that kind of match perfectly with wood detail cases like this one. It doesn't come with any RGB and it is relatively compact. And if I'm not mistaken, this is the only RTX 5080 that comes with a USB-C output on the back. For memory, I use these 32GB G-Skill modules, and for storage, I added a 4TB Samsung 990 Pro SSD. And last but definitely not the least, I use this 1000 watt Strix power supply since they still don't have a matching ProArt one, but the power supply is kind of hidden in this case and you won't be able to see it at all. So as long as you pick a good quality model, it will all be fine. And that's it. It is a very pretty and a very elegant looking workstation slash gaming system. It was also one of the easiest builds to put together because there's plenty of space on the inside due to the case being tall. And even if you fully install this big air cooler, you will still have more than enough space to connect all the cables. The cable management in the back with the big channels and large Velcro straps works great as well and holds everything nice and tight. And with the fans that are pre-managed and connected to a hub, you basically need to connect one single cable to your motherboard and you're done. But let's talk performance. While only stressing the CPU and with the fan set to 40 decibels at a 50 centimeter distance, which is what I consider to be an acceptable amount of noise for a system under load, the CPU was at 76 degrees Celsius while pulling just under 200 watts, and with the case temperature barely warmer than the 23-degree ambient. And while playing Cyberpunk 2077, which nicely stresses both the CPU and the GPU, the thermals looked great as well. The CPU was at 69 degrees Celsius while pulling around 135 watts. The GPU was at 67 degrees while pulling 345 watts on average, with the GPU memory at 72 degrees Celsius. Now, when it comes to internal temperature, I kind of think that a 40 degrees Celsius is a nice target maximum for a system under load, but the ProArt was barely above ambient with plenty of headroom. If I compare it to the Okinos Aircross that I reviewed recently, and with pretty much the same system inside, the CPU was just cooler in this ProArt case, while GPU thermals were very similar. And the case air temperature is just a bit lower as well. So the performance is pretty good, and you have plenty of headroom to make the system even quieter if you want to, or go for a stronger GPU, for example. Just keep in mind that the space is limited and not every RTX 5090 will fit in it. If I look at the prices here in Europe, the various PA401 models cost between 90 euros for the wood front metal side panel version to about 120 euros for the wood front mesh side panel version. I actually paid 110 euros for this version that I have here, but that was a couple of weeks ago. And I think that feels like a very reasonable price for a case that is well made, that has an elegant design, and then some really nice features that make sense for a workstation build. If you're in the US, the supply seems a little bit more limited at the moment. So the cheapest one I could find was $140, which does feel a bit expensive, and Hard to justify if you just consider how saturated the case market is, and that you have plenty of very good options that will cost you up to $140. Which I think is a shame, because overall this ProArt PA401 is a very well-built case to consider. And next to a few small points of improvements that I mentioned before, it really doesn't have any major flaws to talk about. It just feels like you're getting a very decent and a very attractive case for a reasonable price, assuming you're in Europe. So if you can find it for a decent price where you live and you like this design, just go for it. It is an easy recommendation. Now that is all I had for today, but before I go, let's check out the sponsor of this video. This video is brought to you by Seasonic and their new Focus GX power supplies. These new mid-range power supplies are pretty affordable, but they still come with all the features you would expect to see on a proper high-end power supply. They are fully modular, they are very efficient and very quiet due to their fan design, plus they come with a hybrid fan mode that stops the fans completely under 30% load. You get a variety of connections for any kind of system you have in mind, and as usual, Seasonic backs it all up with a nice and cozy 10-year-long warranty. Check it out using the links in the description below. Thank you all for watching and staying to the end. I really hope this video was helpful and interesting enough. If you liked it and you want to see more videos like this one, please do consider clicking that subscribe button. Bye guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!